Hello, how you guys doing? Well, I have a pretty interesting video, and it's about relationships. This time we're gonna focus on the women, and it's gonna be like an old video. I'm gonna play part of it. And let's talk about black women who really want to be with the white male, and then you have some black males that say that they don't want to date black women. Here's the video. I'll get back my comments here.
To set Tanisha straight. The other thing that Tanisha is here to do, she's done a lie detector test, because what did you want to find out?
What's really going on with this sugar daddy?
Okay. I don't have a sugar daddy.
She really cleaning the bathrooms or cleaning up in the bedroom?
Okay. We'll reveal the results of the lie detector too, so stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking with Desmond and his wife Tanisha, who admits she's racist against her own race and she wishes she were white. In fact, Desmond suspects she's been having an affair with an older white man she met after moving the family from Chicago to a white community in Iowa. Now, Tanisha also admits she's embarrassed about her black relatives, including her cousins Sherry and Lashawna. Do you want
Get to it. Get to it.
So let me
If she don't pass this test, I'm gonna leave her. So.
Let's take a break. When we come back, here's the question. Does Tanisha have a white sugar daddy? Is he paying her for sex? We'll find out after this. Welcome back. You're with Tanisha, Desmond.
And again, look at the choices you have, black men. You got Big Keisha, right? And you got Keisha, who's all out want to be a Becky. Those are your choices. Those are your choices. This is nasty work, man. This is very nasty work. Those are your choices. Those have always been your choices. Those are your choices. This is madness. This is madness. This guy comes home from work. Think about it. This black man comes home from work, and not only does he come home from work, he comes home to a Keisha who's a Brad worshiper, and he has people in his home like Big Keisha coming through, raiding the fridge.
And Tanisha's cousins, Sherry, that's all right. For sure, is that all right? What do your friends call you? Your white friends call you?
Tanisha.
Oh, Nisha.
We grew up calling her Tanisha or Nisha. It doesn't matter. Since she's moved to Iowa, she wants you to call me Tanisha. Tanisha. I refuse.
What does Tanisha say?
What's the problem? It just
Tanisha?
Because everyone's like Tanisha. Tanisha.
all mannish. That's and you know what's funny? You got a lot of these, black male content creators that will look at her and say, well, what's the problem? Because they want to be Brads. They will literally look at this Keisha right here and say they don't see nothing wrong with her. They will literally say that. This is sick. Why be around it? Why be around it? I'm showing y'all this video to show you their mentality. I can care less about the rest of her life, but I'm showing you their mentality, black men. You need to know their mentality.
That's no problem. I mean, just
And what I call them Brad worshippers for a reason. Did you hear how she bigged up Brad? You married to a black man? Are you kidding me?
Look, the thing I got. Instead of everybody shouting, now, look, you said about blonde hair, because it's pretty, etc. Now, this young lady here is stunning. She has blonde hair. Stand over. She has blonde hair. Is that okay? Looks good on her.
escape the black community. I don't care for the black race.
Let's go. Let's get to it.
Tanisha, what?
Let's
For sex. You said no. Tim?
Tanisha was being truthful.
I love my husband. We asked Tanisha, did you move to Iowa to be closer to a man other than Desmond? You said no. Tim?
Tanisha was being truthful.
Look at this. Look at this.
We asked... Hang on, let's keep going, Desmond. Would you leave your husband for a white man? We asked Tanisha next. She said no. Tim?
Tanisha was being truthful.
We asked you...
Now you know this is all. You know this is all a lie. This is the reason why lie detector test doesn't, it's not, as far as court, if you go to court, they don't put much stock into a lie detector test. They don't put no stock into it. They don't put no stock into it. You had FBI agents that said, when you look at a lie detector test, it's all based off of people's emotional reaction towards a question. That means that if they're nervous, right? If they're nervous, that can affect the lie detector test and make it seem like you're lying. Also, if you're nervous and you're jittery, or your heartbeat is racing, it's basically because you're being asked questions that can ultimately shed some light on either if you're guilty or not guilty. That's why when you in a police court, I'm not police court, if you're in a precinct and they bring a lie detector test around you, right, and they whether if you did a crime or not, they really can't prove it. It's still used as far as to try to make it seem like you were willing to take the lie detector test. If you fail it, that does not mean you're going to lose the case if you end up getting arrested for a crime, because they don't put stock into these lie detector tests in those courts. And this is the reason why. One of the reasons why is this. She said that, Brad is better. Brad, if she was with a Brad, things would be a lot better, right? Her mindset is that she wants to be with a Brad, right? That she don't really respect her husband. Yet the lie detector test said that if she had a chance to be with a Brad, she wouldn't be with it. That goes against everything that she believes in. That goes against everything that she's about. That goes against her whole being. So how is that true? No. They did this, right? They must have, but right before the show, right, came up with these answers just so she can stay with him and still leech off of him, right? And don't destroy her marriage with him, so they won't be responsible for it. Because ain't no way, if that was the case, if those lie detector tests were valid, there's no way it would have came back she wouldn't leave her husband if she didn't have a chance to be with a Brad. There's no way. It don't make sense. Don't make sense at all. And that's why they don't hold stuff. Lie detectors do not hold weight in anything as far as court. You don't get convicted off a lie detector test.
And stand here.
During your relationship, have you had sexual intercourse with any other man besides Desmond? You said no. Tim?
Tanisha was being truthful.
There's no way. There's no way.
So, I can understand and I commend you as a mother for moving your children and your family to somewhere where they're safer and where they can do well. Now, I don't think anybody has a problem with that. But, I was brought up, like this young lady too, with a black parent and a white step parent. I have mixed biracial sisters and what have you. And I can't say that good or bad clings to any skin color. Right. It's just
Black parent and a black step parent, which means the stepfather. Most likely the stepfather. So she grew up a Brad worshiper herself. Your mother's a Brad worshiper. They both got helmets on. You got Big Keisha up there. You got Brad worshiping Keisha up there. And you're going to sit there and tell us that she passed the lie detector test? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And here's a simp. It wouldn't matter. Do you need a lie detector test really to know that she's out there getting taken on a Pound Tizzy tour by some Brad? She said that this Brad, and he said that this Brad is giving her a lot of money. A lot of money to do what? Clean toilets? A lot of money to clean toilets? No. He's paying her on for the casting couch. And you want to sit here with this show. That's why these shows are ridiculous. That's why we know that a lot of these shows are scripted. That was a scripted lie detector test. There's no way. Again, they don't hold any weight in court. Lie detector test does not hold any weight in court. No, they don't even do them a lot in precincts anymore. They used to do them a lot in precincts. They still do them every now and then. If it's a upper room case, like somebody sent somebody to the upper room, they'll do a lie detector test. But you got people who passed the lie detector test, went to trial and lost trial, blew trial because the evidence was overwhelming. So the question is, how were they able to pass the lie detector test? Because some people know how to be calm during the lie detector test. But this lie detector test up here on these talk shows, they're scripted, man. These are scripted. They think people are so dumb. We just watch, and I know y'all probably saying, AC, you're talking about the lie detector. Because we just watched her big up Brad. We just watched her say she wished she was with a Brad, right? She basically said she wished she was with a Brad. She basically said that her life would be better if she was with a Brad. And then they do a lie detector test and say, hey, if you had a chance to be with a Brad and leave your husband, would you? And they said, oh, she said no. Oh, she's telling the truth. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious. But anyway, this is them, black men. This is them.
Hey options traders, did you know that almost half of the market is hidden from you? That's right. The stock price...
I want to go back to something you said earlier, because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah,
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem. Don't you know you were Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest.
I beg your pardon?
What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument for me?
Feel that,
Everything black.
No.
Yes, it is. Everything.
No, he feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
Okay, I would love to talk to him more about that because, it's always very interesting to me to hear this paradox of black people who will make an argument that, the system is racist and then also make an argument like this, which is essentially making an argument for the Supreme Court to revisit Virginia versus Love and basically say that black Americans and white Americans shouldn't be marrying. I think the greatest thing ever is when people come together on the basis of who they love and get married. For me personally, I never thought of my husband as a race. This is very interesting to me that I see people go, she's she's married to a white man. When I look at my kids, I'm not like, oh, my kids are mixed. I married the person that it made the most sense for me to marry. I have a mind that is just, if you even knew half the things that I'm thinking about, the stuff that I'm reading, just go all the time. It was difficult for me to find a partner that was a challenge to me. The challenge that I needed, whether you want to say an academic challenge, whatever it is, with my same interests. It just was. What you will know, a lot of times people think that when people come together, it's because of how they look. Actually, I read this in a Thomas Sowell book, or maybe it was a Shelby Steele book. People tend to marry their IQ, which is interesting. You think, like, if you see two black people together, oh, it's because they are two black people, but actually they are probably better matched based on their IQ. I fell in love with my husband just because I think he is one of the most brilliant people ever. I love him very much. The stuff that we talk about, I'm like, there is no other person that I could have married. We have 3 beautiful children who are growing up in an environment that I am just so happy that I was able to, what every parent wants, to give your children better than you had, and that's all I can say. I'm just the luckiest person in the entire world.
How is he gonna feel about you not finding him attractive and just liking him for his mind?
What? Oh my God! He got the smear already ready for the journalists that are listening. And it says her husband is not. It was a bonus that I also think that he's beautiful and gorgeous and handsome, but it really was about his mind. His ability to just dive into any subject and comprehend it. Just any subject. I mean, whether you're talking about mathematics, economics, politics, he could read a book on chemistry, read a book on building houses, and he just comprehends the concept very quickly. So I know I married the right person, and I want every person to never allow, race to be a barrier to you finding love. That is so foolish. That will stop you. And by the way, there's this. There's been so much toxicity, particularly in black relationships, because of the media portraying black men as this or black women as this, and we just have to stop doing that.
Have you ever dated black men before?
Yeah, I dated black men, which is another thing that I always find really funny, because the media tries to portray me as someone who only liked white guys. Actually, if you want to be honest, I started off on a really strong Asian kick in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I thought I was going to marry an Asian man.
What's mine?
I did. My first boyfriend was Japanese. My second boyfriend was Korean. I just really loved Asian men. It was weird. Yeah.
Stanford, Connecticut, there was an Asian population in Stanford?
Yeah. Well, there's Asian population everywhere.
I don't know, was there a higher one in Stanford, Connecticut?
No, I think I just pursued Asian men. I don't know. I just liked Asian guys.
Yeah.
Candace Owens fetishizes Asian men.
Oh my gosh. Stop painting the headlines so they can grab it. What is wrong with you?
Lord have mercy, another coon.
So that is very interesting to hear Candace Owens saying, just to get her perspective on the marriage situation. And for those of you who don't know, her husband's name is George Farmer. He was the former CEO of Parler, which is actually a conservative social media platform. And just to hear her perspective on it and how she's saying that he was compatible, he's the perfect guy for her. She's conservative as well. But listening to her, and I agree definitely, but when it comes to social justice and or speaking for your race and your community, I think you can be critical, but in terms of really being a stand-up person or speaking out for that, I don't think that you could have much credibility in your community or be taken seriously when you are married to someone of another race or ethnicity. It's almost like you're undermining whatever movement or progress that you hope that your people could make, because it doesn't set quite the foundation for that. And we see this with other races, other ethnicities, whether that be someone who is Indian speaking out for Indian rights, someone who is Jewish speaking out for Jewish rights, etc., etc.
Are you interested in starting your own faceless YouTube
That's the
automation
husband.
channel, but all people do is tell you to go to freaking Fiverr and Upwork and hire people to make
who is Jewish speaking out for Jewish rights, etc., etc., etc. You don't see them with someone of a different race talking about specific rights. Now, you guys are probably going to give some examples, but I'm just speaking on the norm. So, Candace Owens, one thing I do like about her is that she's willing to get on any platform and talk with anybody and really debate. It's not like she's ducking anybody. A lot of people don't like Candace Owens because they say that she panders to the right wing, she panders to the white man. But Candace Owens does say a lot of stuff that is true about the community, and you don't really see too many black women doing that. If black women do that, they're going to be shunned by the community and not looked at as someone who's really down with the community. And Candace Owens being where she's from. And it's strange to hear Charlamagne said that, which was weird in itself. Is there an Asian community in South Connecticut? And I'm just like, Charlamagne does get on a lot of people, but a lot of times these people are so detached from reality, man. It's like you don't know, you get on other people about them not knowing certain things, but then you don't know certain things. And you can say, well, JR, how is he supposed to know? I mean, you act like Asians are like some secret. There's an Asian community pretty much in every area, even the smallest of towns. But I know what he was saying in terms of a large community. But whether she dated black guys in the past, which I thought was an excellent question because I would have asked her that, she shifted that conversation fairly quickly and said that I started off with Asian guys, I was into Asian guys. I don't think she dated any black guys, to be honest with you, because I think she would have said some things in terms of that. I don't think she dated any black guys, and if they did, they probably would have came forward. But that's on Candace. It doesn't take away from what it is that she's saying is true, regardless of who it is that she married. But in terms of being the forefront or a leader of certain things, I don't see that happening, and being a strong voice within the community. The whole thing in terms of IQ, maybe she just didn't come across, maybe she shot her shot at this dude, which you see a lot of these sisters do a lot of times. They shoot their shots at these guys. But we're in America. Race is very important. Just bottom line. Look at Kamala Harris. She's married to a white guy. A lot of these ladies, a lot of these figureheads, a lot of these women in politics, so just politicians in general, a lot of times these women are married to white men. And the black community sees that as a no-go. But hey, that's what Candace said. That's her interesting reason for marrying her husband. He has a high IQ. She has a lot of stuff that goes on in her mind that only a certain man will be able to handle. So that's her. Anyway, y'all see I'm back sitting down. This is just for right now because
Easter is coming up fast this year, which means now is the time for that favorite sweet you've been waiting for. Get the treats you treasure before they disappear. Hop in and save at Walgreens today.
It turns out there is one scent that a woman just can't get enough of on a man. One.
Let's end this live stream off with some straight, filth, flarn, foolery.
Filth, flarn, filth in front of people.
I've ever related to a TikTok more in my life.
I remember when I did a story time about my trip to Target and my interaction with this interracial couple. It's actually one of my pinned videos, but I'm sorry, I'm laughing because like I really had fellas like pissed off about this. So in the video, I was talking about my interaction with the interracial couple, and at the end of the video, I was like, if a white woman can have you, then I don't want you. And when I tell you, I had these dudes boxers in a bunt. Like, they were so upset. The thing is, I know this doesn't apply, like, to every black man who dates outside their race. But black women been peeped this. We've been peeped like the self-hatred. We've been peeped all of it. We know already. That's why, even myself, when a black man tells me, oh, he dated a whole bunch of them Beckys and shit, I'm out. Because I ain't got time. Like, I already know you got a lot of self-hatred going on, and what you're not about to do is project that shit onto me. Because I love being black, baby. I love my skin, I love my nose, I love these big-ass lips. You're not about to project that goofy-ass energy on me, and you're not about to release all that hatred that you got towards black women onto me. It's not going
to... I gotta stop it right there. But these are the same tropes that every black woman uses when they try and describe this. And I told black women before, and I'm gonna say it again, y'all give black men too much credit. We ain't worried about shit like that. Talking about self-hate. Stop listening to Dr. Umar. He don't speak for black men. Saying that all black men who date outside their race, they hate their mothers, they got self-hatred, they don't like black women. Men, 9 times out of 10, the majority of black men don't care about none of that. The woman just treated him well, she looked good, and he was with it. And she was nice. It's that simple. And in this right, black women, you are an afterthought. This ain't got nothing to do with you. It got everything to do with what that man was and what he qualified for. It could have been a black woman that was being nice to him and was attractive, and he would have went for her. Just so happened to be white. That's how most black men see it. And I wish black women would bring their happy asses over to the military population. Veterans, active duty military members, we ain't got nothing to do with that shit. All that self-hatred and stuff like that, let me tell you this. I've been to 49 different countries. And if you really think that I'm going to sit there and just be like, oh, I need to be race loyal with all these beautiful women in Germany and Italy and Spain and Ethiopia, they not American black women, I can't date them. We ain't got nothing to do with that shit. So you can have all those projections, keep it. And this is to any black woman who thinks that black men think that deep when it comes to choosing a mate. No. For the majority of black women who think like this, I don't know if y'all have some sort of crazy obsession with white women and black men dating. Because y'all swear that y'all unbothered, but for some odd reason, y'all keep shortening your dating pool by saying that you don't mess with black men who have dated white women before.
Right.
Okay, make it more tougher on yourselves. Have at it. I'm gonna let her finish.
So I would prefer to love somebody who loves black women down, okay? And there's not a problem with that. Date who you want to date, love who you want to love. But if you cannot love who you want to love without telling us how much you hate black women, then there's a problem, sir. You need to unpack that.
And I keep saying this. When black women say, hey, you can date outside your race, just don't talk about black women. Or what? What happens? If y'all are saying, I don't care if black men date outside their race, just don't talk about black women. What are y'all gonna do? Are you gonna kick these men out of Dr. Umar's club? You gonna kick them out of the black community if they continue to talk about black women while they're dating other races? Remember, these are the men that y'all don't want anyway, and they don't want you. So why do you care what they say? But if you're asking, or if you're saying, just don't talk about black women, or what? What happens? What are you gonna do? What is the black community gonna do to the men that y'all say that you don't want? You don't want them, so they can say whatever the hell they want. You shouldn't care. What happened to being unbothered? What are y'all gonna do to those men? Nothing. Who's the head of the Black Caucus of anti-swirl for black men? Who? You can ring Dr. Umar's bell, do what you want, but I mean, at the end of the day, a black man can say whatever the hell he wants. Just like y'all get on these videos and talk so much craziness about black men, right? So it's the same thing. Who gonna kick you out of the black community for talking bad about black men? They actually gonna encourage you to continue, probably, on black women's side. So y'all need to think about that. So every time you hear any black person say, I don't care if black men date outside their race, just don't talk about black men. Or what? What are you gonna do? You're about to get into a conflict and somebody say, hey, you can say what you want, but just don't touch me. What comes after that? Or what? If I touch you, what's gonna happen?
Right.
Same thing applies to y'all saying, but just don't talk about black women. Or what? And I'm gonna leave it at that. Think about that. Black community. It's crazy as don't make no sense. So let's look at some of the comments. No, this is good. This Prime VA. They sit online talking about black men 24/7, and I'm like, bro, black men ain't worried about y'all like that. I'm sorry. Y'all think that y'all the focal point of our existence. It's not. We have our own lives just like y'all say that y'all have your own lives. So y'all keep sitting there talking about what black men doing. Focus on what you doing. Why y'all worried about us? We gonna be fine. We good. Stop worrying about us. And I could have swore black women was unbothered by all this stuff. I could have swore that was the narrative. Guess not. Here she go. Hold on, let's see here. Now, this is one, and this is again, another black man. Like I said, they do shit like this. I ain't gonna lie. I love this comment section. I'm glad I'm not alone in thinking this was. Brother, you ain't gonna get no booty in this comment section. This woman said, I thought it was just me. Another woman said, I feel the same. I'm like, I'm good. This woman said, I don't trust anyone who don't date black women. That's a bottom line for me. has led me down some weird paths, but if black women don't mess with you, I just don't. You see how these conversations are always one-sided in the black community. Nobody ever mentioned black women's failed attempts on trying to get white men to marry them, and they're actively pursuing it too. They're giving white men so much free promotion, and the white men just sitting there knocking them up and leaving them. So, focus on black women. This woman said, I love us. They become very whitewashed, which in turn makes the woman feel comfortable disrespecting us. Here in Arizona, girl, she said, I heard they got it bad out there. No, they ain't got it bad out there. The white women in Arizona is beautiful. This woman said it's like an unspoken rule, basically saying that she won't date black men who date white women. Ruby Dawn, you can always tell who they are. Said, them, I don't have a type means you like white girls. I gotta go, what? You can't say I just like women in general? That's bad? Okay. This black man, here we go. It's always these dudes. I exclusively date black women. My complexion or darker. Call me whatever you want, but I said what I said, and it is what it is. You got your little heart, brother. You good. This woman says, Ben, this is when I see couples in the store looking. I don't even pay them attention. They swear the world revolves around. Lord have mercy. The women who think like this. And the energy of the man be off sometimes. It's like they be mad. I'm not paying them any mind. Lord. Then this said, this guy, he was trying to establish some logic. Listen, hold on, let me make this a little bit wider. Look at this. This guy says, I feel like we don't talk about black women who date white men and hate on black men enough. It be going both ways. And this guy said it does go both ways. It's just coonery. Lord Squad said, yeah, I feel like you don't talk about that enough. You should make your own video about that topic. And then the woman who made the video, she said, it's not that it's not talked about enough. You just don't see black women who are with white men going on a hate spree. If you did, then this current video and many others would be different. Y'all think she telling the truth? She said that she don't see black women talking mess about black men with their white husbands or boyfriends.
I've seen it.
Is that true?
I've seen it.
Hold on, wait. What is this?
Dr. Umar, see this shit. Let me let y'all hear this. Call Dr. Umar, tell him what is up. The girls are stepping out, tell them dusties to get up. Different races showing loyalty, respect, and plus a check. Got stretch marks and a couple kids, so you worry about all that. Doctor.
Thank you. I didn't know you could get all this stuff on a break. I don't remember that. Well, you know what they say, in order to remember something.
Dr. Umar. No disrespect, brother, I'm all here for black empowerment. But you gon' tell me to turn in my black card because I have a proper white man loving on me and my kids. These men out here got these women feeling hopeless and devalued. Got these women out here really thinking because they did the most powerful thing a woman can possibly do. Gave birth to new life and the daddy decided to dip. Now she's supposed to be single for the rest of her life? Y'all thought, chill out, baby. We could birth 10 of you. Put a man in a single mama's position. I bet he fold. We're investing, divesting, call it what you want, baby. But we ain't stressing.
But they don't be talking mess about us, though, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And it's just black men. Just black men be talking the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She made a whole diss track to Dr. Umar. Hey, yo.
That's your black queen,
the
Umar.
The cognitive dissonance, bro. Man, black men can't win, man. She ain't seen that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
A whole damn diss track for that brother. Dr. Umar, he probably gonna look right past this. You see, it's the black man's fault, brother. If any
He sure will.
valuable black man available to this sister, she wouldn't have to go get with that white man. It's all the black men's fault. Y'all in prison. Y'all the ones out here making these babies. So she had to go get her a white man. You can't blame that sister.
I beg your pardon?
I like that one. Yeah, that one was funny. But you see the double standard, how some women say one thing they won't do, but they do go the opposite. And they want to be online making talking points, and then you see women out there doing that. So yeah, that I think that's hilarious, man, when they say some stuff like that. But oh.
You see, I get discounts for my safe driving with Snapshot from Progressive. I even
Now
got a
let's
discount for
focus
signing
on
up.
the men.
Wait, can we go now? Well, I'm holding.
Alright, black women, just be prepared to hate me on this one, but I kind of have to go into it again. I always have to make sure that I am, keeping things balanced. So just prepare, but I'm always going to keep it fair. Don't worry, I'll keep it fair. So let's get started.
I wake my husband up with a massage and coffee every single morning, and every single night I'm scratching his scalp and giving him a back massage until he falls asleep. It's important that he falls asleep first. And I would say something that's romantic that he does for me. Well, since I do all the cooking, it's nice when he takes me out for dinner because it's like a little break and it's just special. And then also even just while we're here in Miami, he's kind of like my little bodyguard, making sure if there's any men walking by, he just puts his arm around me and just making sure that I'm protected. That's really romantic, and that's something that a woman could never do for a man.
So I know those two videos, they can definitely stir people, lots of different ways. So let's dive into them, right? Let's dive into them. So the very first thing I want to say about both of those videos, because you're mainly dealing with white women, Caucasian women here in America, and I'm gonna be honest with you, not all white women act like that. In fact, I would probably say very few act that way. But then again, this is the narrative. Remember, we're in the social media era, and there are a lot of people that are trying to pick, things because they're trying to stir up your emotions. And we always talk about keeping it quote unquote fair and balanced over here. So I'm always trying to talk about both sides of things, make sure that we're keeping things even, and making sure we're not leaning too deep into one area or another, so that we can have a better understanding of things. So again, there's very few women, period, that act this way. In the very first video, you have the woman talking about all the things that she does for her husband. She gives him a massage to make him, go to sleep or whatever. And then she feels very great when, grateful when, he does something for her, like takes her out and does things for her like that. And then in the next video, we see this white woman who has basically already birthed 10 children. And she's actually pregnant with the 11th child. At least it looked like, 10 or 11 to me. And, through that, we can see that she loves, to be in this place of actually giving birth, right? And to actually create life. And why are these things, I'm saying that they're the same, but they're different. They're kind of in the same video, but then I'm using them as a contrast. Well, what that is really getting back to is going back towards what people would say traditional values, right? And we talk about these things because I've even done a couple of videos talking about women who want to stay at home and men who want to be, the breadwinner and different things like that. It's always assumed that one person has a problem more so than the other, or one sex has a problem more than the other, but it's really about where you are in life. And again, we have to be very realistic about this if we really want to talk about it. So again, if you start to talk about black women, a lot of black women are very concerned about their situation. They're concerned about the black men that are available to them. Many of them come from broken homes where, you know, they did not know their father, or they did know their father was not around that much. And so they watch their mom struggle with 1, 2, maybe even 3 children. All right, so that type of environment makes it very difficult for a woman to say, I would be willing to bend over backwards for my husband. I would be willing to take care of him in this way. See, I put up another video recently that showed a woman walking with her husband through Target. And in this particular video, the man was doing what he was supposed to do. He was walking in his manliness. He was walking in his husbandliness, you know, if that is a word. And so she felt fully protected, fully provided for. She was not worried about a care in the world. And in the video, she's just like, because it was basically trying to say that she didn't have to think about anything. She had no concerns. And see, when you have a woman in that situation, it's easier for that woman to say, I'm going to cater to my man. I am going to take care of my man. I am going to, you know, put my man, you know, in a position where I know I am to care for him. I'm to care for his body, for his spirit, for his energy, blah, blah, blah. And in return, he's going to take care of me.
Transfer your IRA or your old 401k to Robinhood by April 30th.
There's only one way to make your mark while eating candy.
If you're 55 or over, did you know you could leave your loved ones with an inheritance of up to $300?
Us black dudes, a lot of us don't like black girls, right? You ever heard the term, if it ain't snowing, we ain't going? And you know what I'm saying? Look, you know, we get bashed for it. We get bashed for not liking black girls. If we don't like black girls, what is wrong with that? Like, if we just don't find black girls attractive, right? We just look at the black girls like they just not, they at the bottom of the barrel for us, right? What is wrong with that? The reason why some black dudes don't like black girls and they go to, you know, they go to go talk to white girls is because, you know, with the white girl, it's like they're a little bit more, not even a little bit more, they're more ladylike. Does that make sense? They're more ladylike. The way they talk, their demeanor, right? Everything about them, almost in a way, is kind of like more calm, more ladylike, more, you know, girl-like. You know what I'm saying? It's not really manly. So you got the white girl. She's like more, she argues in a different way. She, you know, she just talk a little bit more different, right? Compared to the white girl, to the black girl, it's like the black girl get mad if she wants to fight. She wants to do this, she want to do that, she want to yell, scream, throw things at you.
A few moments later.
If you believe that, I need to go and get my psychological assessment kit, and you need an intelligence test right now. I beg your pardon, bruh.
Lord have mercy, another coon.
I beg your pardon. So let me get this right. Black girls called you ugly. So do you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome? The black girls called you ugly. So you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome? If the black girls called you ugly, I'm damn sure the white girls didn't call you handsome. Because guess who taught the black girls that dark skin was ugly? The white girls taught them that. So if the black girls called you ugly, I can only imagine what the white girls called you. So stop making excuses for your bunny hopping and just admit you hate yourself, and that's why you're dating and marrying outside the race.
Yo, Dr. Umar back at it again. Cheer, that guy wasn't saying that. They called him ugly. I don't care. This fit. And you see Umar Johnson, when he finished off, he's saying stop making excuses for your bunny hopping. Now, bro, what he was saying is that the whole arguing different, black women are more belligerent, they're ready to fight. But on the flip side of it, and I know some sisters watching this, once you get in trouble with a once you get in trouble with a white girl, man, it's over for you. I did the whole clip recently. I just put up a short about getting fired from the MCU, getting life in prison, getting charges, losing your career, all these things like that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Not to say that black women don't call the police on you, but they know how things tend to turn out, so a lot of times they will endure a lot more, but that white woman will call the cops on you immediately. And the way this society is set up, fellas, look at Jonathan Majors and several other dudes. When it comes to the looks, if that's what you prefer, that's what you prefer. I really don't care. But Umar Johnson was like, yo, the bunny hoppers, you guys are just, hey, it is what it is. But we got a clip coming up here of a brother that he dates white women, and he answers it on this video. So let's get into it. Let's go.
This is why I only date white girls. Black girls don't like smart guys. Growing up, they always said I sounded or acted white, and I got tired of it. Okay, so I'm gonna handle this comment with an extreme amount of care, even though I have a lot of problems with it. And there's a couple reasons why I'm gonna handle this with care. One, as a person that was frequently told by black kids that I was sounding white or acting white, and I was just being myself, I understand why you may have came to this conclusion. I think you're wrong, but I understand. I mean, I was never one of those people who was like, man, black girls just don't like me. Like, I knew that there were black women that liked me, but my thought process was like, black women don't like me the way that I like them. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of like me. They don't like me the way that I like them, which, I don't know, that might be true. But I understand how you could have came to that calculation, even though I think it's wrong. Also, I want to handle this with care because I've seen people respond to this, a comment like this before, and I don't like the response. They'll say something like, man, it wasn't that you was smart, it was that your ass probably didn't have no shape up, or you probably was weird running through the hallways acting like an anime character. That's why black girls didn't like you. And I don't like that response because it insinuates that you need to be something other than what you are to receive love by a black woman or by anybody, and you don't. You should never have to be something other than what you are. So I'm not going to hit you with that, bro. That being said, I think you're conflating two issues. I think you're mismatching a racial issue with an issue of value. Anytime you find a pool of people, no matter what the race are, that value what you value, you're going to fucking kill it, bro. Like, I don't know shit about gardening, but there's some guy out there that probably knows everything about gardening and the seeds and all that stuff. And when he gets around green thumb girlies, he's like a god. You know what I'm saying? He gets anything he wants with them green thumb girls. I can't talk to them green thumb girlies. Like a lot of the nerdy historical political stuff that I talk about now on my page, I was talking about when I was a kid, but that just used to put a lot of the black girls that I was around back then to sleep. They didn't give a fuck about that. They thought I was corny. But that was that pool of black women. Like, there are other pools. Like, you just need to change the pool of black women that you're fishing in, right? Like, I talk about politics and economics now with the black people I'm around, but they like politics and economics, and they think that I'm interesting and cool, and, you know, the vibes are better. I promise you, no matter what experience you've had in America, there's a black person that's had that experience, right? Like, you grew up in the suburbs. Like, you're not the only black person out there that grew up in the suburbs. Or, like, if you consider yourself...
Oh, Uber Eats has groceries now? I gotta remember that.
You know, the best way to remember something is just forget something.
What'd you forget?
Hard to say.
Good ass part.
I know what you forgot.
To be a smart guy, you value education. Like, you're not the only black person that grew up that way. So just change the pool that you're fishing. Lastly, I want to address this comment. This is why I only date white girls. The only date white girls. Like, look, I am not in the business of telling people who they should love. Race, gender, I will never jump in that pool. Some people gonna jump in that pool, not me. And if you want to date white girls, you get all the respect from me as a person that dates black people, right? I'm never gonna tell people who they should love. That being said, the issue is that a lot of black men that only date white girls, they don't do it respectfully. They make dating white girls about not dating black girls, which you kind of did here. So you want to only date white women, that's fine. But you don't have to do that as a response to your disdain for black women. Just do it respectfully. Take care, my brother.
I like like everything that brother had to say just now. He was spot on. And specifically what I tell to men and women that I have had coaching sessions with is you find the one you love doing what you love. As he talked about the whole gardening green thumb situation. You have people who like anime. You have women who like anime. If you were that goofy kid, and I've covered a few videos in reference to this topic about being too smart or you're talking proper. And I had Tina Summers on my show. She said that she doesn't like the black men who talk like the bass side of their voice and try to talk in a nasally, high-pitched voice that isn't natural to them. And she says she's turned off by those guys. And a lot of sisters are. A lot of sisters like the thug type dude. They don't like the dude that's into anime that may be goofy. But there's somebody out there for everyone. You just have to find your people, find your tribe, find those who rock with you, find those who like what you like. I love sisters. I love my sisters, but I love women in general. And I have a preference, which is nothing wrong with that. I have a preference for melanated women. That's just me. But guys, let me know what you guys think about this. I know a lot of fellas who are nerds were looked at as weird, but as you grow up, as you evolve, never discount a certain race of people or ethnicity, man. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment.
And I agree with everything with the last point that he said, and that's how I look at it. Based on what a person's character is, that's what plays the part. And that's why some black men and black women go to other different, or they intend to marry someone outside because the personality. I've always said that. It's because it's not about hating one another and disliking one another, but you have a certain demographic of women that get online and some that don't get online who probably agree with some women online, and they be hearing something with black men, and black men may not be talking about them particularly. I have never heard a black man say, well, this Colombian woman did this better than this black woman. No, I never heard anything like that. But when a black man said he got a Dominican, a black or whatever woman, she said, you just my wife. It's like they internalize it like you're talking about them. It's like, no, that's just particularly what his experience is. And I've been on, and I have sit back and watched different people who went overseas and met, and they married their wives and their girlfriends, and they were open up to learn more about the culture. They were more open and they're happy, and they learning, and they seem to somewhat get along. But it seemed like here in America and a few other places that you're assuming that you don't want us because you must be talking about them to the other women. No, it's not. It's not that they talking about it. That's what you perceiving to be, and you giving off that kind of vibe that you do. And it's a certain type of women who complain about those men, but reality of it is they like JR said, they drawn to the swag, hood, calling each other the nigga kind of dude. Excuse me for me saying that. And he has to be all hyped up and ain't really balancing his emotions and stuff like that. He want to fight and shoot somebody. Oh, they'll get with somebody like that because they think that in their mind that man's gonna protect them. You know what I'm saying? And so, and he's not thinking with logic. And this is the truth. So a lot of times these women say stuff like that, particular, because I've heard it too. And it's like you weren't really drawn to those men anyway. And so what they say that they like about that, it'd be like if a black woman says that she because like what Candace Owens says, like, I don't take it personally offense. That's what she find, what she like. And overall, with the black men and black women who don't agree with the relationship, you gotta come into the reality that everybody don't think the same just because they share your skin color. They don't value you or go over the top like you do. And it's just called growing up. Everybody's different. It's like, and I was thinking about this. Imagine a white person saying to another white person, and they said, well, you don't like country music, you're not white. You're not white enough. You don't like hockey or something like that, or something silly, stupid like that. Do you hear white people saying that to other white people? No, I've been around white people. I've never been around Latino people. Why do we exercise that stuff on each other, and then we do it online? Why do we do that? I'm just saying it doesn't. That even if two white people don't agree to have differences, and one might like rock and roll music or R&B music, another might just like country music. It is what it is. But they ain't gonna sit down there and go at each other like that. It's like, hey, and really they wouldn't give a crap. It's like, hey, that's just the way it is. But it seemed with us, I think it's something deep rooted. That's my personal opinion. And so when black men, like other men, go outside the country or date within in the United States, they find a woman that matches up with their personality and what they want. And it's the same way with the black women. If that's what you want, I mean, I don't think no black man should give you no mean looks. It'd be kind of hypocrite to do that. That's what you want, and that's what your heart desire, and it might be something deep. But I just don't understand, why do we say these things towards each other? And let's face it, we've always been different under the skin. We've always been different from north, east, west, and south. We share the same prejudice and discrimination and bigotry, but we've always been different of our spiritual belief, way our background, what we do in our leisure time, and everything like that. And maybe we gotta see the difference and embrace the indifference that's in us. But we don't. But about me embracing your difference is that you have something different than I do. It's just maybe you can learn from the other races around us, that we don't put our business out there and say that you projected something that I projected. If I don't personally, I guess I have one of my good friends. His wife would be considered black, but she's Haitian. But his fiance is Haitian. That don't bother me that she's Haitian. I got a cousin who her husband is white. It don't bother. I still love her and I still speak to her. And I don't sit up there and say, well, why is she married that white man? So maybe they have something more in common. Then it could be their background. It could be a lot of things. But black people see black more than they see what is more to it. But we just assume, because we're caught up under this umbrella in America, that we see one thing and one thing at a time, and that's on both sides. And it's like, you don't have to just be yourself. You don't have to go. And I would say this, a black woman shouldn't have to put on the blonde wig and trying to just be yourself. Love your hair, love who you are. You don't have to go all out your way to be that way. It'd be the same way with a black man trying to do something like that. Be yourself. That's what the people embrace you who you are. And the ones that don't want to embrace you who you are, whether them or other races of people, let them kick rocks. That's how I feel about it. And it's the truth. But a lot of times, it's people projecting what they do. It's insecurity. And really, people say that Willie Lynch letter don't exist. But when he took take the house Negro versus the field Negro, the light versus the dark, look how it's playing out with us right now. When we make this argument, look at it. Look at it for yourself, and you don't tell me that the past don't repeat itself. So all right then, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to get too luxury, but yeah, just enjoy who you enjoy with, and that's what kind of reality. Because at the end of the day, when we all leave this world, we're gonna be a ball of light in these earthly bodies, just like with the other people on this planet. That's all we're going to be. We ain't going to be judged about our heritage, our character, our bloodline, our skin, our hair, and everything is down here. Because the Most High God called you his son and daughter, just like he called some people when they have a relationship with them, his son and daughter. And maybe one day we would kind of come to that conclusion. I'm just saying, maybe stop looking at everything as us versus them. because we all in this world together, and we all got the same struggle in some form or fashion. And that's what I come to in wisdom to understand. And maybe some people need to think before they make their judgment on other people. Just food for thought. Maybe someone who hear this message will understand. Take care, be blessed. See you on next video.